everyone and welcome back to World of Warship, and let's talk new changes and armor changes. You all know about the Smolensk will be overpowered and kind of broken in many ways, but keep that in mind, guys, that I kind of feel exactly like Nasser used to say in his latest video. It's a good change that a little bit too good in many ways. I'm not talking just the Smolensk, I'm talking about overall the destroyers and some other ships. They are a little bit too strong with IFHE. And even if you don't have IFHE, but the rate of fire, you can put your enemy on fire left and right like there's no one's business. And the thing is, I might mention that it's still work in progress, but Wargame decided to nerf the armor of this ship, and I explain you exactly what it is. It's this part. This part will be only, I believe, 16 millimeters for the whole part, which basically means if you are destroyer captain or a light cruiser captain, you'll you'll damage this ship in the near future when Wargame decides to change all those armors to all cruisers and all battleships at mid-tier, tier 6, tier 7s. Literally, this ship will be penned in every single angle. Remember, if you can imagine yourself Grozovoy with Citadel, this is what it's gonna be. A huge, big, large destroyer with Citadel, which basically means that no matter angle, because after it's only 16 millimeters, it will be all over the place. There and this one 30 millimeters, you kind of need in today's live server to need to have a better IFHE or better HE penetration to penetrate 30 millimeters armor, but it won't be that case in the near future when this ship will be nerfed. Something also else which is kind of a buff, all the destroyer will receive a new HE penetration by 1. So what I'm trying to say is, let's go to Tech 3 and let's talk about the tier 9 and tier 10 destroyer from UK, and that answer it's the Jutland and Daring. You don't need in the near future IFHE to pen your targets. So right now, because of the smaller guns, they only have 130 millimeters guns, guys. You need to have IFHE to do any kind of damage. Not so much in the near future. I still believe it's a good change, and also the Des Moines and the Salem will receive middle part some buffs. But overall, guys, I believe, and let's talk about IFHE now. Yeah, I have to apologize. I just take this down. Now let's talk about. I have 17 points captain. With this one, I don't have the IFHE build because it is the absolutely most optimal build for Soviet destroyer. The thing is, guys, right now it's only like what minus 1% for the destroyer in a chance to put your enemy on fire with IFHE. In the near future, when the IFHE will be changed, will be to minus 50%. So if, let's say, a stock, I have no idea exactly what's the percent to put your enemy on fire with those 130 millimeter, but let's say for 8%. Well, if it's minus 50%, it's only 4%, and so on. What I'm trying to say is that you're not gonna put any fires in the near future, and same story. So you have to have a choice between faster rate of fire or better percent to put the enemy without AFHE, or it's not obvious, or shall I say, if you have a Worcester, it's of course. Nobody said that it's a must-have today's IFHE build, but not in the next one. If you want to put fires, then you cannot have it, because then the percentage will drop by 50%. and you overall you get a better pen anyhow. And same thing goes, and this is the most important information. I'd like to go to Tech 3. Okay, not one, the Tech 3. I have to apologize. We go to the most interesting battleship, and that is the mighty Kurfurst. I might even grind this beast. Yes, I will grind this beast. I have so much experience in my Bismarck. I can easily get the tier now, the Frederick the Great. Now, this ship, behemoth of the ship I'm talking about, let's talk about secondary. Secondary. Those 127 millimeters guns from Kurfürst will pen 32 millimeters of armor, which is extremely bad for all battleships, especially the French one. The German, and by the way, they still want to do some kind of a slight improve of the consistent of the guns. So I believe, guys, without saying too much, in the very near future, this ship, the mighty Kurfürst, won't be one heck of a strong ship at close range, because the accuracy buff and also the secondary buff with this will pen 32 millimeters. So 32 millimeters, I'm talking about the French, they are all over the place, 32 or less. So what I'm trying to say, you'll do full damage to all other battleship, which is kind of a need. I believe it's a good change, guys, seriously. I felt somehow that the poor German battleship, they were left alone, or they were, you know, without much love from wargaming. But now I really like this change. Let me know in a comment below that wargaming decides to nerf in armor the Smolensk and buff the 127 millimeters Kurfürst, so you will do full damage. And it's kind of a bad for you non-German battleship. You don't want to stay within, I don't know, 11 point something. That it's pretty hilarious, close to 12 kilometers range, the secondary. I like this idea. I do believe it's one of the most fun battleship nation, and I will grind this behemoth of battleships. It's fulfilled the role of a battleship. You had poor dispersion from long range. Closer you are, you better dispersion, and the secondary chewed your enemy. So guys, please subscribe to my channel and let me know in a comment below about all those changes for cruisers and battleship. And same story with mid-tier, let's say French cruiser and battleship will receive some buff. But there is a problem. Wargaming only decides to buff cruiser from tier 8, 9 and 10. What about tier 7s? There will be a huge damn gap between tier 8 and tier 7. So let me know in a comment below, guys, if they will buff the cruiser's armor plating. Not all over the place, not this one, but here in the middle part. They will, from tier 8 to tier 7, it will have 27 millimeters, and for the tier 10, it will have at least 30 millimeters. But how about tier 7? Because tier 7 can face tier 8 cruisers, and I do believe we're going to have to do something about the mid-tier as well. So guys, thanks for watching, and always captains, fair seas, and goodbye.